what's going on, everyone? So in the video that I made yesterday about baby doge, we talked about this level that we broke down into, and now you can see we're going through this channel religiously. So we're going to talk about that. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice, but let's go straight over this because look, right now we are at 8Z1243. So it's pretty good, up 2.7% in the last 24 hours. But look what happened when we came up here to the top of this trend line. We bounced straight off, literally bounced straight off this trend line. Now, I made the video yesterday talking about this channel that we're going through, and we're going through it. We're going through it exactly how I mentioned. And obviously, I'm not a guru. I always say I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. But if you look at it, we are going through this channel. But you can kind of look at how it bottomed out a little bit here, and you can tell it's going to probably end up breaking out early. It's probably not going to go all the way down here to the bottom like this channel shows. It's probably going to end up breaking out even before this level right here. I'm predicting we'll break out somewhere around this level here. So, right now we're at 1242. I'm predicting we could be breaking out around 1180. So that's just something that you guys want to keep in mind when you're looking at the charts, because if you go back here and you look at the 15-minute chart, you can see we bounced off here, and you can also see the MACD is kind of curving downwards here, and you can see all the way up here at the top with the MACD, you can see that it is going to start curving downwards. We are going to get that pullback, but we're going to have to see where that pullback ends up breaking, and pretty much ends up bringing us to. But yeah, so now that we got that, you can see we are inside of a good direction here with baby doge. We're probably going to end up having that movement to the upside sooner rather than later. So let's talk about the levels where we're going to have to get to for that to happen. So that first level, you can actually see it because I already drew it out down here. So I have this support area, and look, I like to do minor support areas, which I like to call micro supports. This is a micro support at 1170. The major support is at about 1080 to 1100 down here. That is the major support, right? Well, this is the micro support, and I'll actually show you the difference here between the major, the micro. So the micro and the macros, you can kind of see here, the Fibonacci's is going to be our macro supports, and those are like the really important ones actually. And then the minor supports, the micro ones, are the ones that we just use for trading purposes. So another one you're going to want to look for over here is around here, around 1120. That's another micro support that you definitely want to pay attention to. So I'll go ahead and grab the horizontal line and I'll place it right here. And it's actually fairly easy to track these supports. You really just got to watch out for your levels. Just watch out for where we hit with those candlesticks. That's really all you have to do. So now going back to the 15-minute chart. Look, we have some good volume. Our volume is pretty decent. You can see this area right here, this little volume bar. You can see all that volume right there. That's all bullish volume. But look at how small it is now. You can kind of see it decreasing. Also, the MACD going down as that volume decreases. That kind of shows you something. It kind of shows you that we're going to pull back a little bit harder. We tried to break out here. We were unable to break out, which is now causing us to pull back down to 1170. This is going to be that next level. And then I believe if we do pull back to this next level at 1170, I believe we might do something where we're like trading sideways just a little bit, and then we try to break out. If we can break out at 1200 after that point, then that is going to lead us to get up here back to 1250, and that's going to give us that momentum to try to get above that. But if we don't, then we're going to end up breaking back down to this other micro level, and if that micro level breaks, we then bounce off the support at 1080, and then we try to make our way back up where we more than likely will break out. So I don't see us going back to 9Z9 right now. That just doesn't seem like a possibility right now. Just looking at the charts, it doesn't seem like we're going to go to 9Z9. But that's pretty much all I have for the technicals. Now I want to go over some other stuff that is very, very important with baby doge. I was going to do 2 videos for this, but I might as well not, because like we're already in it to win it. So let's move on. Now, 2.7% up in the last 24 hours. Cool. $14 million in trading volume. Also cool. But what's not cool is the fact that we are not listed on crypto.com yet. But they just now reposted this. Now, I remember when I was making these posts before, because this is the post that crypto.com posted that made me think, hey, we might be getting listed to crypto.com soon because they posted this and then Baby Doge reposted it. Well, Baby Doge just now reposted it. Okay, they reposted it, and then they put right here 7 hours ago. Yes, I can. Can you pause on Baby Doge? So hopefully crypto.com goes back and looks at this and they're like, okay, they're still on the crow wave, they're still on the crypto.com wave. Let's go ahead and give them a chance and list them. I'm hoping that they come around and list us. If they list Baby Doge can break out in its own pattern. But what I'm hoping for is that they do not list Baby Doge yet. And you're probably like, why not yet? But I'm gonna get to that. So, all right, we got to be honest. Look, if we get posted and listed to crypto.com now, yes, I guarantee we are probably going to end up trending closer to 8Z2200. But that's it. We'll get up there. And then as Bitcoin starts to pull back and all these other cryptos start to pull back, and also on the 7th of this month, which is in like 2 days, we're going to be getting the Fed interest rate decision. That's gonna, they're probably gonna pause on the interest rate cuts, which is gonna cause prices of everything to go down, including Bitcoin and all these other cryptos and stocks. So let's say they were to do that, and we went down before we even got listed onto crypto.com. Let's say we did something like that, and then we're like trending down in this area or something, and then boom, crypto.com lists us, right? Let's say around June, maybe in May, June, or July. Okay, then boom, maybe we go out to 8Z2200, at the most 8Z3, but we probably wouldn't do any more of that unless we then got listed to Coinbase, which would be something like that. And then we also got listed to Kraken, which could look like that. And then we got listed to Robinhood. We would literally need listing after listing just to get us back to our previous all-time high. And then the same exact thing that happened with Binance will then happen with these exchanges, and we will literally lose all those gains all over again, even though we got listed to everything we needed to. It happened with Binance. It happened with every single large exchange we got listed to. We went up, and up until we couldn't go up anymore, and then we lost all the gains. And this is why we cannot get listed right now. We can't do it yet. We have to wait until we have an official bull market. Okay? Let me say that again. We have to wait until we have the official altcoin season. We already hit a bull market, okay? But we need the official altcoin season. And we need the official meme coin season. So we need both of those official seasons to come in before we start getting listed to Kraken, before we start getting listed to crypto.com, before we start getting listed to Coinbase, before we start getting listed to Robinhood, before we start getting listed to Webull, before we start getting listed to public.com, before we start getting listed to any of these other major exchanges. We need to enter altcoin season, meme coin season, bull market, 2025. We need to enter those seasons before we start getting all this good stuff. So right now, it is very imperative that Baby Doge does not get listed to any of the other large exchanges like crypto.com. And hopefully they see this and they don't get listed yet. We do not need to be listed to that yet. We need to wait until meme coin season hits in full effect. That's how we get the Shiba Inu effect. That's how we get the Dogecoin effect. We go in the middle of the strongest altcoin season, the strongest meme coin season, and then we just rise. And we do that alongside of major listings. That's how Doge did it. That's how Sheep did it. That's why we couldn't do either one of those. That's why Doge on Mars couldn't do either one of those. That's why Floki couldn't do either one of those, because they started getting, big as the market started to cool down and started getting listed to all these exchanges as the market started to cool down. And that kind of happened to Baby Doge too. But now we need to wait until the market actually starts to heat up. We need to see that we need to see the rise. That's why what happened with Binance happened with us, because we got listed to Binance. You got to think about it. We got listed to Binance around this time right here. This is when we got listed to Binance. But the market was also heating up kind of around in December. Like going into the new year of every year, the market starts to heat up. And we kind of benefited from that. You can actually see Bitcoin started to heat up at that same time, right? And actually just a little bit, because we started inside of December. If we would have got listed to, let's say we would have got listed to Binance all the way back here inside of October, we would be so good. Listen, I don't think you hear me on that. If we would have got listed to Binance October 9th, October 10th, when Bitcoin was very low, and then we would have had that whole time, we would have had a lot more gains. But we got listed to Binance all the way back here in about I think it was maybe December, September, somewhere around there. I don't know. Somewhere around there. We just didn't get the full force of it. We didn't get the full force of the Binance listing. And just imagine if we would have got listed when Bitcoin was at 15K. Remember when Bitcoin hit I think it was 16K, but remember when Bitcoin hit 16K in 2022? Imagine we got listed all the way back there. We got listed to everything. I think we would have really rose and then kept our gains. Rose some more, kept our gains. Rose some more, kept our gains. Kind of like how Bitcoin did. But, it's whatever. But yeah, hopefully we don't get listed yet. It might sound counterproductive to some of you, but this is kind of how it goes in crypto. You have to be strategic. We can't do this yet. But it would be nice to see it get listed anyway. Like, if it happens, like, cool. We just won't make as much off of it, and it'll probably end up losing its gains once the market pulls back. So it is what it is. We can still get listed. It'll be good for traders, but not for the people that want to go in long term. So keep that in mind. But for the rest of you, if you just want to do some trades, it does present some good opportunity for trades. And right now, I will say, like, I think you guys should be paying attention to the 4-hour chart as well. Look at how on the bottom of the MACD, it's about to start crossing. On the bottom of the MACD, on the 4-hour chart. This is a bullish signal. This is a very bullish signal. Even though it did happen over here, right? It happened over here a little bit. But you can see these two lines weren't crossing. They didn't cross at all. So they kind of stayed down. And then the selling volume kept going. And then it crossed here. And then that's when you see in the buying volume here because it crossed on the MACD. And then it crossed here and started to go down. Now, if these two areas do not cross, let's go back to the 4-hour chart. So if these two areas right here don't cross, and then it just fakes you out and it just goes like that, then we're going to end up seeing this volume bar here on the MACD going right back down again. More bullish move or more bearish movement, right? But if it crosses, and then you see the volume bars here on the MACD going up, then this is going to inevitably lead to bullish season. We will be bullish, and that's the 4-hour chart. Okay? Get it? Got it? Good. Now the 15-minute chart over here shows a bearish signal right now because it's about to cross short term on the bearish side things. You can even see it going down here. You can see the volume decreasing with the volume bars showing some bearish movement. So yeah, like I said, prepare for 1170. It's coming soon. Anyways, this is all I got for you all today. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you guys want me to go over next. As always, I'll be back with another video.